this. Hi, I'm Weien. I work here at the campaign, and I've been here for a couple of years. Before that, I was a freelancer, which I also really liked. But around 2016, I decided I wanted to find a team and a product I could settle down with, and also just get more experience working as part of a software team instead of kind of on my own as a contractor. So what followed after that was pretty basically a long summer, and kind of difficult summer of applying to jobs, and roughly 12 code tests. So I'm hoping that by briefly describing each of these, it'll be interesting and also maybe helpful for folks who are maybe looking for a job, or also maybe if you're looking to build out your team and you're thinking about how do I vet people. So I started out, I was already remote, so I was thinking, hey, I want to do a remote company, that'd be great. And someone told me that Automatic, the WordPress people, they're like the gold standard for distributed. So Automatic is very meticulous, and Showcase is very high tech in kind of everything that they did. Even before step one here, even before code test, they have all these guidelines for your cover letter. Basically, if you misspell WordPress or Automatic, or even if you like get the capitalization wrong, it's like instant garbage. Like your cover letter goes direct to trash. So, and also they had this hint that like maybe Matt Wang, like our CEO, reads all the cover letters because he like really believes in hiring, even if that's like hundreds of cover letters a day. So like the pressure's on.
Even if cover letters are garbage?
Even if they're garbage, I think he just puts the trash behind really fast.
No, I mean like the concept of cover letters. Okay.
Yeah, arguable. So, a team for your work, and then you get to join this repo and work with your hiring manager that way. So it's kind of neat. And then they give you a project, or at least at the time they had a project, which is a simple version of their Discover site, which is like editor curated best blog posts from across the WordPresses. So the job was to kind of build on this and fix some issues involved with it. One thing that was interesting about Automatic is that they actually gave me feedback when I asked them like, hey, like, how could I interview better, or do you have any thoughts? And they said, focus on try to learn more about the nitty-gritties of iOS. So it was very brief, but it was actionable feedback that told me kind of why I didn't make that. Also, interestingly, the interview was connected via Slack, like via DMs. So you basically like message with the hiring manager, and their rationale is like, hey, we're distributed, and so all of our we talk to each other using text, and so like kind of spoken word and verbal are like less common. So let's see, can you communicate ideas? Do you have Slack manner, I guess? So that's kind of interesting as well. So from very meticulous to kind of the opposite, First Alert and Aurora, they do smoke machines. Sorry, not smoke machines. That'd be cool. But smoke detectors are also cool, and they save lives. And they work on those on the burps. And their test project was kind of odd. It was like, here's this project that's basically done, change the image assets from the icon, and then convert it to a test flight. So success was getting a test flight build into the hiring manager's inbox. Every task, and then there's an on-site interview, which is kind of like meeting with people, kind of casual. So that's first of all. The third place is Doist. They're known for their to-doist. They're based out of Portugal, and after the video interview, they gave me the spec for a test project to build a simple to-do app. And this comes with interesting requirements: front end should be Swift, back end C, and Realm, and kind of give you an example for what the model might look like. They told me in the email that it was intended for like an 8-hour project, which is definitely on the high side. But they also paid $50 at the conclusion of the interview. So they really did do that. Like PayPal would be $300. I think the interesting thing to think about, to kind of consider is that, or kind of recurring question with this presentation is, how much risk is a company willing to put on themselves to find good talent versus how much risk are they going to push onto their candidates? It's kind of, I don't know, I think especially if you've done hiring as well as look for a job, you can understand how it can be very appealing to like throw a test out there and see if people do good, and otherwise like just don't bother with them. And like they may bank hours into the process, and it's mostly after that, rather than reading some code. Kind of as an example of the opposite side of the spectrum, method is a random, like, they do connected exercise machines. And I think I applied, and then it got an automated email. And it's like, hey, here's our hacker rank link. So finish this test, it takes like 25, 30 minutes. There are a couple puzzles on there, and then you fill it out, and it's automated again. So the whole process was automated. So from a hiring perspective, it's very interesting. And it's a very efficient process, but you can see like it's like 100% risk on the person doing the test. And like kind of submitting, tailoring the cover letter to fit this, maybe their garbage letter, and then doing this task, and then kind of like waiting and hoping somebody if my hacker test was good. 60 Start is known for Zombies Run, which is the running app where you listen to it, and then it sounds like zombies are chasing you, so you run faster and longer. And they were unique because they actually asked me to share code samples with them. And I'm sure a lot of companies do look at GitHub, but this is one that explicitly said, like, do you have these Swifts that we can check out that is an example of your work? And to me, that told that they were willing to take some risk on, like they're willing to read some random code that I'm submitting, as opposed to maybe it's a lot easier to compare apples to apples, and everyone has to fill out the same or fulfill the same test. So after that, they did sell the code test. It was a partially broken 2048 port. They said, please do a code review, and then also add some features and fix one bug. And then the interview was Skype. So kind of Auth0 is an opinion, like iOS, like drop-in login form company, and so this was possibly the most frustrating process. It started off right away with like a custom mini app using their API. It was like this mini API gateway that you can interact with, like kind of piecemeal. So I built this like mini chatbot that talked to it and like, talked to itself for a while. And then there were 2 interviews with different people, and then one more like mega code test to build like a drop-in library component using their API, and it had to support both CocoaPods and Carthage. So it was a ton of work. This was definitely the closest I came to like just like giving up. So like even before I started, I'm like, oh, do I want to do this? But I really want a job. The remote. I don't know. So also at the end, like they had also set up a Slack channel. Like if you need it, we're here for help. They'll help you. And then at the end, I was like, hey, so postmortem. Like, how did I do? And they're like, well, we're kind of disappointed that you didn't talk to us in Slack very much. You didn't work with us. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize. I thought, on code test, like go into your code cave, and then. So if there's a lesson out there, take a lesson. Maybe it's like try not to surprise, like have a mysterious, like unknown hidden guidelines for your candidates. It's hard enough to look for jobs without like having to crack the nut as you apply. Evolution, they're a health company, and they did a lot of coding with CoderPad, which was new to me. I think it's actually kind of neat because it's sort of like Swift Playgrounds and Google Docs crossed. So it's like live coding. It's basically the closest to a whiteboard, I think. And, that was an interesting one. And it's just another interesting example of sort of like software interviews as a service. CoderPad is one of those. HiX was interesting because instead of code coding test, it was like a test about code. And some of the questions I thought were pretty sensible. Like, yeah, please let me Google is at the top notice. And I think they gave you like half an hour, like try to answer these questions as best you can. And then help us answer B. But the next question were like, I'm going to do whose compliment is. Ultimately, the hiring manager at the interview was like super nice because I was like, I'm sorry, I tried my best, like I have no idea what this is. He's like, oh, that's okay, I mean, you're iOS developers. Overall, like, positive experience, except like I was kind of thrown off and definitely memorable. Journal codability is just one more I thought I'd throw in there as another example of testing interview being as a service. And it takes me to Morningstar, another local company. And after the code review, they sent out a code test. And in some ways, I was like, oh, it's one of these like sort of math problem tests. But then I was like, what? They actually want me to they actually asked me to write unit tests. And like, nobody asks for that. Like, no one says unit tests. So maybe I should have, in hindsight, maybe I should always be writing unit tests for code tests. But this is like, I don't know, this was unique that they were able to express their values as far as like an engineering organization, even in their process of hiring. And then so second to last is boxes. They're like the eBay of collectibles, or like a paraphernalia. And after a call, he actually did use the word quick. Asked me to build an e-commerce, like not like a full app, like it was not a whole backend, but it was like the UI of it. And so like, here's the requirements. I'm like, okay, I guess. But then I saw 0 comments. And I was like, dynamic height use. So this was my second temptation to just not, because I was already working on that campaign. But the boxes I was really wanting me to know how valuable this Slack was about to become, and so that I might get to meet somebody. So, Active Campaign is where I work now. They had a phone call, and during the phone call, I learned later that the hiring manager would start the call, and then like if he thought it was going well, he would say, "Hey, it's time for a code test," and then like, yeah, he had like a computer nearby, and he can like go through this code test, and so we introduced Code.io, so I'm kind of like grateful to Care Evolution for introducing me to this. So that like my first experience wasn't here. And there's 2 puzzles. One was a FizzBuzz, which if you're not familiar is like a you loop through 100 through 1 to 100 and you replace numbers and strings. And the second puzzle was like you pasted some code and said just spot the bug, and you kind of see where like the logic is off. So that's the code test, and then the on-site part. After lunch, he brought me to the code test at the time, which was he pulled up the project that I was eventually going to inherit. That was the previous developer had built, and asked me what I thought about the code. So I was kind of confused because I wasn't sure, like, should I be like hard on it, show like I'm super senior and like I know all the stuff and I can critique the code, or should I be really nice because it's like their code. So in the end, I just sort of like I said, you know, it's Swift code. It's Swift to me. There's a guard here, so that's good. So anyway, I was hyped. I looked at it at the time. It's a forms app, and the idea is that you can collect one of our customers can collect their customers' data at a room or something on that app. And this ended up being the code test that I created right as I started Active Campaign, because after I started, we also needed to build out the team more. And so what I came up with just on the fly was, hey, maybe I'll think about like which bugs I fixed recently that were kind of like doable but also interesting, hopefully, and then we can pair it together with the candidate. And some people were here to experience this test, and it was an okay test, I think. We have a test that's better now, and it's more focused on refactoring, which I think is a much better move. Because with this test, if you fix, or with the test I had, if you fix a few bugs, then yes, like I can like attest to the fact that the candidate fixed the bugs. But there's no code just to see. Like you can't see their style, you can't see really much of the thought process other than what I'm reporting. But with the refactoring-based tests, you see very clearly what they're outputting. And then I think our Android top team has like a similar process as well. They do have like I think like a take-home portion that is a couple hours of work, and you kind of bring it with you to the interview, the outside interview, and then pair on this and more. So yeah, as long as I'm looking backwards, I thought I would pull up a day 1 journal entry from my first NSCoder. So I've been thinking, as I've been preparing this talk, I've been thinking more about the community, and so I want to share 2 thoughts. So one is more for if you're new, but if you're new and you find the group is kind of overwhelming and everyone seems to know all their stuff, my advice is to come 3 times, ideally in a row. It's good for you. It's good for other people to realize that you're really part of this group and that they should get to know you. And I think in general, like even looking at my own posts, like June, July, August, like in the August post, I was like, oh yeah, like I met this guy again, or I talked to Sean again, and Jake was there, and they like helped me with my app. I guess. So that's kind of thought 1. And thought 2 is this is more for everyone, especially the veterans, to introduce yourself to one person every time, one new person, if possible. So it's a little thing. It is hard because even just like catching up with all your friends is like takes enough time. But if you can do that one thing, it makes our community a lot more inclusive. So those are my 2 thoughts. Show up 3 times and introduce yourself to one person each time. Any questions?